Most people think wealth is like winning the lottery, a random blessing for a lucky few. But the truth is, there's a proven roadmap to building real lasting wealth. Think of the most successful people you know, the ones who went from nothing to living comfortably. I bet they didn't get lucky, they followed a plan. And that same plan is within your reach too. I know this firsthand because it's my story. Decades ago, when I was fresh out of college, no money, no connections, no clue how to get onto Wall Street. But I followed a blueprint, learned the rules of the game, worked hard, and strategically built my income. Fast forward to today, and between my businesses and investments, my net worth has climbed into seven-figure territory. It wasn't magic and it wasn't an accident. Now, this path isn't always a comfortable walk in the park. There were times I doubted myself, made sacrifices, and nearly threw in the towel. But that's the thing about proven plans. Even when they're tough, they work. Compare that uncertainty to the folks who hope for a financial miracle, then keep spinning their wheels, never making progress. The biggest misconception that some people are just destined for wealth. If you're willing to learn to work and to make those smart moves, building your income, saving strategically, and investing wisely, you can rewrite your financial future. In this phase, you're not chasing paychecks, yet you're building your financial toolbox. Think about it. Even a handyman with basic skills like how to fix a leaky faucet can make decent money. It's the same in any field. My first finance job, fresh out of college with a totally unrelated degree, was only possible because I took initiative. I didn't just wait for the job to appear, I studied those who already had it. What did they know that I didn't? How did they talk in interviews? I copied their success, and it got me in the door. This isn't some outdated strategy. Look at the tech boom and all the online courses for skills like coding or even content marketing. People are realizing that specific in-demand skills can bring serious earning power. That's why I always say the early years of your career are an investment. The paycheck now might not be huge, but the skills you're building pave the way for much bigger paydays later on. It's also about learning how to learn. Let's say you want to switch careers entirely. The key isn't to just dive in blind. It's to connect with someone in that new field. Ask them, what are the day-to-day tasks? What skills are non-negotiable? That way you're laser-focused on what will actually make you competitive when it's time to make that leap. The bottom line: knowledge isn't just about fancy degrees. It's the specific, actionable skills that translate directly to income potential. The more tools in your financial toolbox, the bigger the projects and paychecks you can handle. The point is, this phase isn't about making money yet. It's about stacking up skills to boost your earning potential later. This might sting a bit, but no amount of penny pinching and coupon clipping will make you rich if your income is tiny. Picture your income as a bucket. Sure, you can patch up small leaks with smart budgeting, but if the bucket itself is only thimble-sized, you're not going to catch much water. That's why most folks who only focus on saving never truly get ahead. The trap is thinking employers are lining up to reward your loyalty. Let's be real. In today's economy, most corporate raises barely keep up with inflation. Unless you're actively pushing for promotions or strategically job hopping, your income is likely to stagnate in the long run. Waiting for someone to hand you a fatter paycheck is like waiting for rain to fill that leaky bucket. Frustrating and unreliable. That's where the make more mindset comes in. It's about taking your income into your own hands. My path involved climbing the corporate ladder, learning sales skills that commanded higher salaries. But there are countless ways to do this. 2023 and early 2024 saw the continued rise of the gig economy, freelancers, online service providers, even people flipping used goods for a profit. The point is, you're not helpless. If you identify a way to create more value, either for an employer or through your own hustle, you can break out of that paycheck to paycheck cycle. This doesn't mean saving is unimportant. It's absolutely vital. But you need a sizable bucket before saving becomes truly powerful. That's the difference between financial struggle and financial freedom. My first year as a broker trainee, I barely scratched $40,000 annually. By year 3, I'd honed my sales game, the highest earning skill I saw, and bumped that to $45,000. Year 4, I scored a sales position, making about $120,000, and year 5, the big leagues, pulling $250,000 a year. But guess what? I was maxed out and I was miserable. That's how in mid-2019 I upended my life. I quit that high-paying job to start Heresy Financial, back to zero income. It took 6 months to make my first dollar and a full year before I made enough to pay the bills. Why put myself through that? Because I had to go back to the learning stage. All those skills that got me big paychecks working for someone else were useless when I went solo. It was a rude awakening. Suddenly I needed stuff like video editing, design, figuring out how to even talk to a camera, which is harder than it looks. Looking back, it was worth it, but at the time it felt like I'd climbed one mountain only to find the real peak way further away. That's why I always tell people now, start a side business, a hustle, something while you still have that steady paycheck. Because chances are there will come a day when you want or even need to walk away from your job best to be ready for it. Here's the brutal truth. You can blow through any level of income. We all see those lottery winners go broke stories, right? It happens to celebs and athletes too. Despite making millions, there's always something to spend it on. Did you know half of all Americans will at some point be top 10% earners? Even crazier, about 10% will spend a year in the top 1%. We tend to think the rich are a closed club, but it's surprisingly fluid here in the US. The problem is most folks assume they'll never make it there, so when they do, they go crazy and spend it all. My last 2 years in finance, even earning good money, we lived way below our means. Rented apartment, no car payments. It was a struggle, let me tell you. My wife deserves a medal for fending off my constant pitches to upgrade our lifestyle. But those savings, those investments in gold and real estate, that's what gave me the cushion to quit and build Heresy Financial. It literally wouldn't have been possible otherwise. Saving is just the start. To make serious wealth, you gotta invest. And here's the key. Most people do it wrong. They gamble, not invest. Because when you throw money at stuff you don't understand, hoping for a moonshot, that's not investing. That's rolling the dice. Real investing takes work. Analyzing companies, looking at market trends. It's not about your broker's hot tips, because informed investing makes your wealth grow and protects it. See, as an investor, you're providing fuel for businesses for innovation. Without investors, we wouldn't have half the cool stuff we take for granted today. It's a role with real responsibility. Anyone who claims money can't buy happiness hasn't tried giving it away. It's the single most fulfilling use of wealth. We all have a duty to help those within our reach, and the more you build, the more impact you can have.